Hello you guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is all about the hamstrings, the hams, hammies, hamsters, backs of your legs. Very important main muscle group, very important also to what we do here. Any of the moves that you see that are even common to CrossFit or yoga, handstands, toes to bar, movements that require that forward flexion, you need to have open hamstrings. And if you're just a normal human being on the street, you've got to have loose hamstrings to reduce and alleviate lower back problems. So I'm very passionate about hamstrings, and we're going to get into two different ways of stretching your hamstrings today. So if you suffer from tight hamstrings, leaning forward and doing some of the stretches that we've done before, static stretches, 1 foot up on the floor on a block, some of that stuff just isn't working for you to open up your hamstrings. I want you to try these two stretches, kind of alternative stretches that I have for you today, and see if this makes a difference for you. I hope it helps a lot. So the first one, we're using the concept of myofascial release to try to lengthen those hamstrings. And of course, I do suggest that you start your stretching, any stretching after your workout, or even after a hot shower, or if you've been in a sauna, hot tub, anything like that, that can help as well. So I have a lacrosse ball. My dogs ate all the tennis balls that I had. Tennis ball is fine. And I want you to start way up at the top of your hamstring attachment. So your hamstrings attach all the way up at your sit bone or your ischial tuberosity, I believe. And you're going to feel it right away. If you put that ball right at the base of your sit bone and start moving it around, I want you to do some exploration. When you find a spot that's kind of tight and sore, hang out there. Give it a little bit of a static hold or a little bit of side-to-side movement. So as I was taught for traditional myofascial release, which is usually in a common setting done in a foam roller, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, relaxing those muscles, trying to get them to sort of spread apart before moving on to a different area. So I want you to work your way down. You can do this seated as well, but I just started doing this on a bench the other day, and I felt like I got a little bit of a better angle, like my gravity was heavier seated with my legs down rather than with my legs in front of me. So I'm not going to take too long to do this on each side. Go ahead and pause the video when you feel like you know what's up. I'm not going to probably do the other side. You can do just the massage like we're doing now, or you can find a good spot where you're kind of holding that myofascial release, and you can even add a little bit of a forward fold stretch to that pressure point. Whew, and it's intense. It's gonna definitely, well, hopefully, it's gonna rock your world. So that's your technique number one. Take your time. Go ahead and do both legs. You're just holding those stretches and that massage, and we'll move on to stretch number two. Okay, so our second stretch is a PNF stretch, which we have used this concept in prior videos, especially the splits challenge videos, and I'll link that first video up at the top if you want to follow along with us. We have 14 follow along videos specifically targeted for your splits. But PNF stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, and it's just a really nice way to actively stretch your muscles. It sort of teaches your muscles that it's okay to work within that range of motion. So you want to use an object of resistance, and you can do this with a partner too. It's really relaxing if you have a partner pressing on your leg and pushing and adding and applying that resistance that we'll do with the band. So I'm just gonna lay down here, and any sort of resistance you have, this is pretty stiff band. You could use a sock or a towel or anything like that as well. So lying down, foot up, whatever feels comfortable. So I feel like a pretty standard stretch position here is 90 degrees. If you're a little more flexible, you can start a little higher. And it's pretty indicative of a pretty tight hamstring if you're not close to 90 degrees, okay? So just notice that on your own body. So starting at 90 degrees, I want you to pull gently until you feel the stretch. Oh, that's gonna be very individual. I start feeling the stretch right about here. I want you to hold that for about 10 seconds, just allowing that muscle to stretch. So if this is the stretching you've primarily done in the past that isn't working, this might be able to get you to the next level. So after you've held that for just a moment, I want you to push with everything you have against that object, like you're kicking away from your body. Hold that kick for about 5 to 8 seconds. I'm shaking a little bit. And then head back into that stretch. You're going to use that same average time for your static stretch here, which I like about 30 seconds, just for kind of a baseline guideline to how long I should hold a stretch. So stay here for about 20 to 30 seconds, letting that hamstring release. I'm already considerably farther than before, at least I feel like it. And then you're going to do the same thing. So kicking out, pushing as hard as you can for about 5 to 8 seconds. 3, 4, 5, push. 6, 7, 8. Oh, that was 8. Can't count. And then release just really gently back into that stretch. Holy cow. Look at how flexible I just got. That's so cool. So really some smart techniques here. You'd repeat this about 4 to 5 times on this side with those kick forwards and those static stretches back before you switch legs. So let's say we did it on the other side. I'm not doing as much of a follow along. I just want to teach you some methods so that you can apply this on your own. At least try these two. If you have any feedback whatsoever, please leave it in the comment box below. I do find that tight hamstrings are something that's very hard to overcome, especially when you're not at a certain level of forward fold. By that, I mean, if you're just rounding your back and trying to touch your toes, it's really hard to just wake up one day and be able to touch your toes. Like, you have to apply some actual techniques. So PNF stretching is really smart. It really engages that neuromuscular portion of your brain to body connection, which is a very smart way to work those legs. So you're welcome to be done there, or try going into one of your sort of bench line static stretches. Maybe that's just a forward reach for your toes. Maybe you're standing and reaching and trying to get your hands flat on the ground, something that you have had trouble with in the past, and see if you're not a little bit farther, especially if you give this a few days with these techniques. Let us know if you like this kind of educational video, just with some different technical ways to bypass your body's maybe less than perfect body mechanics. So hope you have a great day. Happy hamstring stretching, and we'll see you next time.